and Other Related Offences Commission arraigns NSCDC Deputy Commandant over 26.7 million naira alleged fraud. On the foreign scene, United Nations peacekeepers in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo come under rocket fire from rebels.
This is Freedom Global News.
Good evening, you listen to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Today is the 1st of July 2022, which is equivalent to the 2nd of the Hijjah, 1443 after Hijri. And now the news in full. A federal high court in Kano, presided over by Justice Abdullahi Liman, today restrained the Kano state government from borrowing 10 billion naira for the installation of closed-circuit television cameras, CCTV. A coalition of NGOs, the Kano First Forum, KFF, filed a motion ex parte dated June 27th, sworn by the Director General of the Association, Dr. Yusuf Isiaka Rabiu. KFF, through its council led by Badamasi Suleiman Gandu, prayed the court to restrain Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano from borrowing 10 billion naira loan. It could be recalled that the Kano State House of Assembly on June 15, 2022, approved the governor's request to obtain the 10 billion naira loan from Axis Bank. Other respondents in the suit are the Attorney General of Kano State, Commissioner of Finance Kano, and Speaker Kano State House of Assembly. Others are Axis Bank, Federal Ministry of Finance, Debt Management Office, and Physical Responsibility Commission. Justice Liman granted the prayers of KFF and restrained the first respondent from borrowing the 10 billion naira loan and ordered all parties to maintain status quo. The adjourned date would be later communicated to both parties in the suit. The Emir of Kano, Alhaji Amina Ado Bayero, has described the voters' registration card as very important, which will give an avenue for the nation to vote for good leaders. Amina Ado Bayero stated this while briefing press at his palace today. The Emir, who spoke at length on the registration, charged the people from 18 years and above to register in order to enable them cast their votes. He noted that Kano is populated and the people need to be involved in order to maintain a good tempo through the registration, in order to enhance nation development and to restore her lost glory. He said INEC would commence the registration of voters' card from 5th to 8th of July, which would take place at Sani Abacha Stadium in Kano. He then prayed for peace and stability in the state and the nation at large. Another sporting arena, the Tigers stand-in head coach Alan Major says the team must take care of the ball when they face Mali in their next game on Saturday. The Nigerian senior male national basketball team lost 70 to 79 points to Cape Verde today at the ongoing 2023 FIBA World Cup qualifiers. The coach noted that the team's turnover ratio and rebound efforts were responsible for the team's loss, even though he gave credit to the team for their resilience and hard work. Major, while acknowledging that the Tigers fought back and had the lead at some point, also congratulated Cape Verde for their efforts. In another update, Mohamed Salah ended speculations over his future by signing a new contract with Liverpool today that will reportedly run to 2025. The Egyptian, who has scored 156 goals in 254 appearances for the Reds, has entered the final year of his previous contract. And on tennis, world number 2 Ons Jabeur beat French teenager Diane Paris 6-2, 6-3 today to cruise through to the 4th round at Wimbledon. The Tunisian had too much for the 19-year-old in their clash on the centre court, breaking her 5 times and hitting 22 winners. Jabeur, a quarter-finalist at the All England Club last year, will face 2018 champion Angelique Kerber or 24th seed Elise Mertens in the last 16. The Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, or watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradio.nig.com. Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has Dr. Deputy Commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Mr. Edike Mbotidem Akpan, for defrauding prospective homeowners of the sum of 26,655,000. Mr. Akpan was charged before Justice V.S. Gaba of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, sitting in Kwali, Abuja, on a 17-count charge that includes using a private real estate company, Danami Nigeria Limited, to defraud land subscribers. The charge sheets reveal that the deputy commandant convinced many subscribers with the claim of being in partnership with NSCDC to pay various sums of money for plots of land both in Karshi, Nasarawa State, and the Sabon Dupe Extension Airport Road, Abuja, which were never allocated to them. In all of the charges, Mr. Akpan was alleged to have conferred undue advantage on himself when he allegedly received 13.35 million naira in 2011 from a subscriber through his company as payments for 10 plots of land at Airport Road. Then a CDC officer was also accused of receiving 2.6 million naira from Mrs. Chidinma Obasi for 2 plots of land and 1.2 million naira for another plot of land. The accused pleaded not guilty when the charge was read to him, and his counsel prayed the court to grant him bail on liberal terms. Justice Gaba thereafter admitted him to bail to the sum of 5 million naira with 2 sureties in like sum. One of the sureties must show proof of residing in his or her personal house. The court further ruled that the defendant must deposit his international passport with the court registrar with the caveat to be released to him upon application for the purpose of medical treatment, and the case was then adjourned to 7th November of the commencement of the trial. And on history, during the pre-colonial era, different cultures used a variety of items as means of exchange, which includes cowries, malillas, beads, bottles, and salt, amongst others. The first major currency issue in Nigeria was undertaken sequel to the colonial ordinance of 1818, which introduced the shillings and pence as the legal tender currency in British West Africa. Muhammad Abba Abdullahi has more details on this historical event and other updates.
On 1st July 1959, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, issued Nigerian currency banknotes, while the West African Currency Board issued banknotes and coins were withdrawn. It was not until 1st July 1962 that the currency was changed to reflect the country's republican status. The banknotes, which bore the inscription Federation of Nigeria, now had Federal Republic of Nigeria inscribed at the top. The notes were again changed in 1968 following the misuse of the currency banknotes during the Civil War, equal to the decision by the government to change from the metric to decimal. The name of the Nigerian currency was changed in January 1973. The major unit of the currency, which used to be 1 euro, ceased to exist, and 1 naira, which was equivalent to 10 shillings, became the major unit, while the minor unit was called the kobo, which 100 of it made 1 naira. On 11th February 1977, a new banknote with the value of 20 naira was issued due to the growth of the economy. The 20 naira banknote was the first in Nigeria to bear the portrait of a prominent Nigerian citizen, the late head of state General Murtala Ramat Muhammad, who was the torchbearer of the National Revolution in July 1975. Muhammad Abba Abdullahi, Freedom Radio.
And on business, oil marketers warned that Nigeria could witness the mother of all queues from next week if the federal government fails to pay the 12 months Britain claims being owed operators in the downstream oil sector. Dealers under the aegis of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, also denied being paid 74 billion naira by the federal government as Britain claims for the transportation of petroleum products. On Wednesday, the federal government, through its Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, said it paid 74 billion naira as Britain claims to oil marketers for the transportation of petroleum products across the country in 7 months. Meanwhile, Nigeria has redeemed a $300 million diaspora bond, which matured on 27th June 2022. The Debt Management Office stated this on its website, saying that the bond was issued for a tenure of 5 years in the international capital market. It also assured bond investors of Nigeria's commitment to honoring its debt obligation, urging the Nigerian diaspora to invest more in the country. The federal government has increased investors' confidence in its commitment and ability to fulfill its debt obligations at maturity, thereby reinforcing its presence in the international capital market. For tomorrow's weather forecast in some cities in Nigeria and parts of Niger Republic, here's the report.
Kano tomorrow morning is expected to have partly cloud and a gentle breeze at an average temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and later increase to 29 degrees Celsius with a sunny intervals and a gentle breeze. Kaduna will experience decent weather condition at an average temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and later increase to 28 degrees Celsius with a sunny and light wind. Katsina is expected to have sunny and light wind at an average temperature of 26 degrees Celsius and later increase to 32 degrees Celsius with a thundering showers and light wind. Abuja will experience decent weather condition at an average temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and later increase to 28 degrees Celsius with a light cloud and light wind. Lagos is expected to have thundering showers and light wind at an average temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and later increase to 28 degrees Celsius, a light cloud and light wind. Moving to Niger Republic, Maradi is expected to have sunny intervals and light wind at an average temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and later increase to 33 degrees Celsius with a clear sky and light wind, while Zinda will experience decent weather condition at an average temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and later increase to 35 degrees Celsius with a sunny and a gentle breeze. Rahima Chitu, Freedom Radio.
On the foreign scene, the United Nations said its peacekeepers in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo have come under rocket fire from rebels. Aisha Mohammed Eliman has more on this.
There are no reports of any casualties as a result of attack in the Kibinzi district, which has been blamed on the fighters. The UN has condemned the attack on their compound. Earlier this week, the Congolese army regained control of villages in the area after heavy fighting. The fighting has also raised tension between DR Congo and Rwanda, which denies supporting the rebels. A top United official told the Security Council that 23 fighters were operating like a conventional army with the military capacity to overrun United Nations troops. Meanwhile, Germany has condemned alleged Russian missile strike on Ukraine Odessa region. At least 19 people were killed in the southern west region today, including 2 children. Moscow denies the responsibility when the attack came a day after Russia announced its troops had been withdrawn from Black Sea outpost of Snake Island as a goodwill gesture. Putin said sanctions and political pressure from the West are pushing Russia and Belarus closer. Aisha Mohammed Eliman, Freedom Radio.
And with this, we've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Enjoy the rest of your evening and have a wonderful weekend.
Freedom, 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 freedom.